Well, the state of California is still dealing with the effects and ramifications of the devastating wildfires this last week, and the disrespect shown by Joe Biden towards Americans in favor of Ukrainians continues, as we discussed last week. Ukraine is set to receive another $500 million. Not to mention, Biden gave Ukrainians $3.5 billion for their government salaries and pension fund. And much like he did with the victims of the fires in Maui, Joe Biden is sending Americans who lost everything in the fires of Los Angeles a whopping one-time payment of $770. Let's listen to him announce this as if it's some grand achievement.
Waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out.
At least they don't have to pay the government back like the hurricane victims in North Carolina did when they gave them a little bit. After this weekend, that room he's sitting in needs to be fumigated and disinfected, the Oval Office, I swear. Just imagine the stench of bad ideas permeating in that room after the last 4 years.
It probably smells like diapers.
Depends. But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I just wonder what retirement home they're going to take me to in 3 days.
Hopefully Gitmo or Guantanamo.
Yeah, Gitmo would be great.
But anyway, let's see here. And Joe Biden thinks that $770 for people who just lost everything is any help at all. So much they filmed him making this announcement. Talk about tone deaf. I am so ready for this a-hole to be out of office. Why are Americans giving pennies while foreigners are given blank checks? Can someone explain that to me?
That's crazy.
It's like they are making this senile old man do the most absurd things they can think of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, let's face it, he's not coming up with these ideas on his own. He can't even pick his flavor of ice cream.
His favorite flavor of ice cream is children.
That's crazy. Right?
Yeah.
Brother. Moving on from that one.
Here's a real question.
No.
If
we
you
need to
can't,
visit that one a little
if
longer.
legitimately the man isn't making the decision on his favorite flavor of ice cream, y'all really think he was in charge of running a fucking country?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently. So I can't explain it either. But apparently this whole situation with LA has sparked a debate on whether the federal government should withhold aid money from California due to their bad policies and poor mismanagement because they cannot be trusted to use it the right way, or give them the money because real Americans need help during a disaster. The Democrats are saying, give it. We need to have the money. It's a natural disaster. We need it. But the Republicans, a lot of them are saying, well, how do we trust that you're actually going to spend it the right way? And you clearly can't be trusted to do it before. So here's one of our favorites, Scott Jennings over on CNN, who's usually, telling it like it is, describing what he thinks is going on here.
House, I have to say, has said today that he would like to condition aid to California.
Yes.
Condition aid to California.
Of
course, you are okay with conditioning aid.
I said it the night that this started. I said on your show, there ought to be conditions on aid because
so the
obviously
next time Florida or Louisiana is dealing with
that's why I mentioned Katrina.
You want that aid to be conditional upon Washington dictating policy decisions in those states.
I want it to be conditional on knowing whether or not the state of California, in this case, is going to enact local policy decisions on forest management, on water resources management.
Well, let me ask
so
you,
that it doesn't happen again.
What's wrong with that? Let me ask Scott. Okay. If the Democratic-controlled House decided, you know what, in Florida, they really should not be building those houses on the water. Climate change is happening. That aid that we give you is going to be conditional upon you preventing the building of anything along in all those areas that are prone to hurricanes. You would be okay with that?
If you could pass that through the United States Congress, more power to you.
I'm just asking.
Hold on. I'm the lawyer here. We have rules like that all the time. Yeah. You have to build Coney Island in Brooklyn. If you're going to build something, it's got to be built in a certain way. So you're going to get the money. It's got to be built. So it's
Thank you. So Arthur is pointing out that is.
So yeah, this was definitely a hot topic, clearly, this last week.
All these people bitching about policies and this and that. As soon as the Doge department gets their way,
Oh, I can't.
Everything's going to run a little bit more efficiently.
Yes, it will.
A lot of these people are going to be not having a job.
Oh no, they're not going to be happy about it for sure.
Just
Okay.
like we're responsible for our yard, we're not allowed to have our grass overgrown and all this. Why is it such a big deal to ask for them to clean up the forests and manage their federal land?
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for people to understand that? It's not that bad. Like,
No, it's not.
No, every state has to, with national forest, has to maintain it. Like that's
yeah.
part of the deal here.
Supposed to be.
So there should be no rule change because you live in California.
Or just because it's the Democrats, you know, whatever.
Yeah, like
Politics.
yeah.
But Democrats should say it should not be political because Democrats could turn around and refuse aid if a natural disaster like a hurricane hits Florida, like they said, and they could blame that, they could blame what they deem incompetent leadership, like Republicans are currently doing in regards to LA. But first of all, let's remember though, it was already confirmed that Democrats has already done this. You know, remember when FEMA, while under Democrat control under the Biden administration, was told to withhold aid from Trump supporters in North Carolina following the hurricane recently? So Dems already did that. So second of all, a wildfire where steps can be taken to limit the damage or prevent it altogether is far different than a hurricane where nothing can be done to stop it.
No.
We have to help innocent Americans affected, no question about it. But there must be consequences for inaction, incompetence, and negligence by the local government officials, and even oversight, perhaps, to ensure the money goes where it's supposed to.
Yep.
Mr. Newsom.
Well, yeah, don't give it to him. He'll probably blow it on hair gel.
But this has gone on since before him.
Yeah. This
It's just like
Oh yeah,
Nancy Pelosi's been in office, and San Francisco has become a freaking.
Yeah, like I said, I feel bad for people because, like I said, that you lose. That's ass, like for real. Because there's certain shit in this house. If I lost it in a fire, I can't replace it.
And most of them lost their insurance.
Which is
and
wild.
they're gonna have to pay the mortgage and the taxes on the lost property.
Oh, I bet. But yeah, those people who were innocently victimized by this, who didn't have anything to do but was in the way, they should be given far more than $770. I mean, Maui got like $750, but and those people still haven't recovered. It's a joke.
That's like 1 week of bill payments for us.
Yeah, I make more of that 1 week paycheck.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that is just simple. Like, oh, here's some food for the next week or two.
Yeah,
depending on how you spend your money.
I
like you still gotta, we gotta rebuild, or we gotta buy a new. You know what I'm saying? Like now you gotta wait for insurance and all this and that. Like there's too much time in between $770 something dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like to take place where you got nothing. Most of these people will be either housed out of state somewhere else.
At this point, that would be the best for him. Leave the damn state.
But then giving them they probably could give them like a house voucher or some shit. I think I don't know how that shit works.
No, they're not. They're not giving them anything.
Crazy business.
I mean, $770 is not even enough to afford a hotel stay for a couple nights in LA. You know, so if you want a roof over your head, okay,
you know
nice, but then you're back on the street.
We have a bunch of abandoned housing in towns and shit like that around the world. Like, why not utilize some of that space for shit like this?
I'm not saying they may be doing something like that.
I hope they are.
Obviously, there's shelters you can go to, but with that kind of damage, though, there's not going to be shelters that are going to be sufficient. Period.
No,
I mean it's not possible. So yeah,
that's
just
crazy work.
I hope those people get a lot more than $770 and actually
for sure. Like that's man.
Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our live podcast almost every single Friday night here on the channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.